Hi, welcome. My name is Brenda Green, and I'm with Perceptive Healings. Today we're going to talk about Tarpana or Ancestral Healing. It's one and the same. Ayurveda is the one that calls it Tarpana or Tarpana. You'll hear it kind of both ways, but either is fine. And I'll share my screen. And for those watching on replay, all of you are welcome to the workshop that would like to sign up to see an actual demonstration, live demo of how it's done. It helps a lot to see it. That's how, once I did it, in the group I was in, I was sharing it live demos with everybody, and a lot more people started doing it by seeing it. It makes a bigger difference. With the Tarpana, it's considered a meditation practice, and the meditation is it's a combination of grounding and then setting the intent of why you want to talk with the ancestors and just exploring that a little bit. There's so many benefits from it, healing addictions, traumas, and diseases in your lineage, which is something we all can use. It's been a tremendous benefit for me. And in the 1-year journey that I teach, this is in habit 7, which is sitting in silence on meditation. So that's when I go a little more deeper into the Tarpana practice as well. And the book that I reference is Dr. Daniel Four, and that's his name up there too. Ancestral Medicine is the name of his book. Sitting in silence or meditation. The meditation will increase our subtle levels of acceptance, patience, ease, and trust. And it is collective, whether you do it a few minutes a day or 20 minutes or half hour or once a week, it all collectively contributes to that reduction of stress responses, anxiety, and you have a deeper connection with the source, or however you want to call it, just that higher wisdom. And we get to enjoy the benefits of better concentration, deeper learning, and increased memory for wisdom-based decisions. During this course, the well ancestors, we're going to define and why we're requesting well ancestors to come forward rather than recent, and how to do the Tarpana practice, plus benefits, resources, altar ideas, and offerings, because this is considered like a ritual for honoring the dead, basically. And then there's time for questions and answers as well. Tarpana is an act of remembrance which solidifies the link between the generations by opening ourselves to our ancestral influences and forgiving our forebears their imperfections. We open ourselves to their accumulated wisdom, which can cement our culture together. That's Robert Svoboda. He is really big on Ayurveda. He's well known for Ayurveda and for this area of study. Whenever you're accessing anything with the ancestors, it does touch on genealogy, and it's just up to you if you want to research more and develop your family tree. FamilySearch.org, that's one of the places. The Midwest Genealogy Center, which I live nearby, you can access that online as well. And anytime you need assistance, you can call them or whatnot and ask them questions. They're very helpful. But for people that are adopted or have non-blood related relatives, you don't have to do that. You don't have to know them. This still works whether you know your bloodline or not. Well ancestors, loving well ancestors who are well in spirit, bring added blessings to life events. When we enjoy the active support of our loving ancestors, life tends to go more smoothly with higher levels of luck, ease, and vitality. So the well ancestors are, most of them have been on basically passed for a longer period of time. With the benefits, and I keep referencing Tarpana, but it's the same thing. So just whatever word you're comfortable with, but that's because I have Ayurveda background. I tend to just call it Tarpana. One session is equal to 4 hours of meditation. It's highly grounding practice. And mine usually average about 20 minutes most of the time. And I feel so solid all day long when I do that. It is so grounding. It is really great to feel that. The healing is immediate to both the current, past, present, and future lineage. All will benefit from the blessings, and we call it blessings because it's just that good that comes out of it. So it's beneficial for the whole line. When you heal something, it heals it for the future generations as well. You can also ask for support with your career, spirituality, decisions you need to make, family celebrations, and your dharmic purpose. They can help clarify it with you. Which is really nice, because a lot of us don't, need a little help in that area. And because it's a meditation practice, you want a special space that you can do this. You can have an altar, you can have offerings, and you can include elements that represent the elements on your altar. So you're just creating a sacred space. You can do it indoors or out. Never have it in your bedroom. You don't want to invite the dead at any time into the space that you sleep. So just anything that you do with that, keep it out of that area. The altars you can use to honor the ancestors, your own beliefs, your own religion, your own spirituality. You make it the way you want it. It's very personal how you want to do that. Dr. Daniel Foer doesn't recommend having photographs of ancestors, but many people do. So like I said, it's all completely up to you. There's no right or wrong with that. Offerings, they can be the traditional that's related to Tarpana, or it can be an ancestor's favorite food. It can be your favorite food. It can be, the tradition is rice and milk with black sesame seeds. But you can use anything, even a glass of water, holy water, anything like that, objects from nature. So leaves, rocks, shells, anything like that is a option. Whenever you can represent all the elements and in some form. So flowers, even a candle. I often have a candle. I usually have a little baby feather I like that I keep with me. When we do this practice, the facing south, or it doesn't have to be 100%, but mainly facing south is the point of receiving our ancestors. It's non-confrontational. That's why we face south. And that's a natural state of connection with them. You always want to do a grounding practice, a simple grounding meditation. If you don't know what that is, you can even look it up on YouTube and just find a grounding practice. If you have knowledge of the chakras, you can focus on that. The option too is like listening to light drumming sounds or Indian flutes, something calm and subtle. That's a good background. And then we want to do protection. So for anybody that's not as familiar with this, just picture a bubble. So you're just surrounding yourself almost like with a bubble around yourself, so that you're allowing well ancestors to come in, and it gives a protection, a boundary to keep anyone else outside of the bubble. And when you're exploring this, you can either reach out to the paternal or the maternal side, or just stay open to whichever comes forth. So it's the work you do affects all people on a subtle level, regardless of the choice of maternal or paternal lineages. And for me, when I started off, I did the feminine side, because I felt like there was so much trauma on that side and it was affecting me. So that was where I worked first. And then I opened it more to who came forth. And this is a deep level forgiveness work. So you will notice changes in all your relationships. You'll feel deeper connections. You'll feel communications flow and open up more. Some people that may not have been talking all of a sudden start talking to you again. So it's the way you can kind of confirm the work you're doing is actually working. Because this is a ritual, we relate to offerings. So again, it's just like flowers, leaves, rocks, gems, crystals, seashells, sand, candles, any special object. It's just use what you have, and what resonates for you, what you like. You don't have to do anything outside of what you normally would have a feeling towards. And the Tarpana tradition, it's rice with milk and the black sesame seeds. Those black sesame seeds absorb negative energy. But again, when I started off, I didn't have the sesame seeds, so I didn't use those. And then I had the white ones for a while, used those. But eventually I got the black ones. So handcrafted items, heirlooms, poetry, songs, instruments, pottery, anything that you feel, that's especially things that relate to the lineage in your family. Any favorite foods, family recipes, favorite drinks. You can add any special item to nourish and satisfy all earthly cravings. And that's part of why you're doing the offering. When you're doing this process, usually the first time you can kind of ask them if there's a certain offering they want you to bring, and you may hear something. So you can kind of stay open to that, even if you don't have an offering to begin with, or just having like water, it doesn't have to be anything fancy at all. But for those that have offerings that they brought, you can share why you brought this offering or ask them what offering they would want. So either way. And in the beginning, that's what you want to do, is you want to ask. That's what I did. Now, the best times for the Tarpana or ancestral healing is this month. It's September. The new moon is ideal. And this month, that's on September 25th. Right now we're in the full moon. The energy is different. It's a more active energy. When it's a new moon, you'll feel almost like a more empty space. It's a lighter energy. It's different. And you'll notice it if you practice this. But you can practice at any time, and as often as you like to do it. It's a meditation practice, so it's open. And it's best to do it when you're in a positive mood. If you're feeling really down or you've just lost somebody recently, you may want to give it a little more time before you decide to do it. It's just the whole idea is bringing in the positive and positive energy and positive, the love and support. Whenever we're thinking about if we were to create an altar right now, you can write down things that you have already. You don't have to buy anything at all right now. If you get deeper into this, you can always add things that you really like, but it's easier just to start off with what appeals to you and what you have. And then think about the area that you could do this practice in, facing south, where you can actually face that direction as much as you can. Whenever we're doing this practice, we always want to clarify our intent, why we want to do this, why we're reaching out to them. So initiating conscious contact with loving ancestors, you're going to invite their ongoing support and guidance and stay open and receptive and utilize all of our senses. Everybody learns and receives information differently. So when you're making your offering, you could either do that with each ancestor that you're calling forward, or you can do it at the beginning or at the end, and it's just up to you. It's whatever feels right. When you're doing this process, it's kind of like an awake consciousness. So you can speak out loud, you can ask questions if something is unclear, or even just, in your mind asking to have them clarify if something is too vague or unclear, you don't understand the meaning. There's a lot of options beyond the lineage repair work. So for some people where they actually have completed the cycle, you have other options there to continue to have them support you throughout your life. You can ask for guidance as far as any challenges in your life, prayers that support living family members, family celebrations, gatherings, your dharmic purpose. You can gain clarification on your life path, destiny, and mastering your divine gifts in the higher vibrational state. Being open to creativity, creation to fully be of service to the universe. And also career. I mean, that's something think of all the times when you've had to make huge decisions, and boy, wouldn't it be nice to have some other support from the other side that can see things that we can't. So it's just there's a lot of options there that'll come into play when you're doing this practice. And for anybody on, that has questions after this, feel free to reach out, or on the, in the Healing Talks group in Facebook, or in the meetup group. the Healing Talks to Thrive. Either place, you can reach out to me. If you are connected with me on Facebook, on Messenger, any of those things are fine. The workshop I'm doing is on September 24th, and it goes from 9 a.m. to about 10:30. It may not go that long. It just depends on questions and whatnot. It is a $25 workshop, and it'll include the recorded replay, so you can reference that anytime in the future whenever you want to do the practice. And there'll be some additional resources, a PDF that you'll be able to download that'll give you more resources and information that'll help you in your own practice. And I want to thank you. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing here. Thank you for everyone that attended, and just reach out whenever you have questions, because there's usually a lot of questions that come up whenever you are new to this practice. And you can explore more on Dr. Daniel Forr's website. And if you want to check his book, Ancestral Medicine, the prayer that he has is in here, and I'll reference that during the live demo. So for me, this has been a really, I've been able to heal addictions in the family that have been in many generations. I've been able to heal traumas that have occurred that were affecting us still. So it's a wonderful practice, and it's a little scary at first, but there's nothing to be scared of. It's just, if you're comfortable working with ancestors, this is something very special to explore. Thank you.